Hello, Sunil. How are you? Am I audible, Sunil?
Sir, I'm audible.
Okay. How are you?
Sir, I'm fine.
Are you going through the previous lectures?
Yes, sir, I have listened.
Okay. We have us. Welcome, Anirban.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. So,
Sir, I
uh,
am sir,
you are
sir, I am
audible, but
outside.
yesterday you were not audible
I am
yesterday. You were not audible.
no, sir. I am saying that I today I am outside, so I will just hear listen to class.
Okay. Okay. Just listen. Just listen. What was your question yesterday?
Yesterday, my question was that we were saying that it was given by anyone that three parts. No, that we will remark what will be said by the
Okay.
patient. We will
Got it.
record it.
Got it. Got it. Got it. We will discuss it. We will discuss it.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you wait for some moment so that others could join and we will start?
Sir, you are not audible.
Okay, there was a call in my phone. Call keep on coming. So if I am not audible in between, just think that I am on some call. Okay. So Sunil, I will request you to go through lectures which are there in the uh, in the app. You can go through those in your spare time. And now we have started this aphorisms. Okay, for the last
Yes,
one we have discussed. Okay, we have discussed the whole introduction, the preface, okay, translator preface, all those have been discussed with some reference to the later part of the organon, also to some other philosophy books also. And now we are in aphorism number 7. We have already discussed aphorism number 8 while we were discussing yesterday aphorism number 7. Now in aphorism number 7, the footnote was remaining. The footnote to the aphorism number 7 is dealing with the antipathic mode of treatment. Okay, the footnote to aphorism number 7 is antipathic mode of treatment. Where else antipathic mode of treatment has been defined? It has been defined in the introduction also, and here in the aphorism number 59, the a long aphorism is there. Go to aphorism number 59. You will be able to see a long aphorism is there. There, Hahnemann mentions the bad effect of using antipathic medicines. Only few examples are there, and that those examples are being elaborated. If you can see, coffee, opium, purgatives, okay, the cold water, the valeriana, the foxglove. These are some examples have been given and elaborated with those examples only. So it is the longest aphorism, aphorism number 59. Here Hahnemann is dealing with the bad effect of antipathic treatment. Okay. Further, in aphorism number 65, Hahnemann is telling about the examples of secondary counteraction. In antipathic mode of treatment, what happen is there is a secondary counter. What is secondary counteraction? Force is trying to maintain the previous state, giving purgative. Listen carefully. If you are giving purgative for the constipation, okay, So aphorism number 60, what is secondary counteraction? Secondary counteraction is the reaction of the vital force. I was telling that if you are giving purgative for constipation, there is a relation between the medicinal action and the disease, which is opposite to each other. There is a constipation and you are giving a medicine which will produce diarrhea. Okay, so vital force will try to maintain its previous state and it will produce more constipation, so that you will be needing more strong purgative for that. So this is the bad effect of antipathic mode of treatment, and particularly if you are trying this in chronic diseases. Okay, in acute diseases this will relieve for the time being and the disease will go exhaust itself. Okay, but in chronic diseases, say migraine was there and headache was there, and you gave a sedative which is benumbing the sensation of pain. Okay, the moment this sedative works over, the vital force will try to produce more sensation to that head. Sleeplessness, again you are giving some medicine which is producing sleep. Okay, that passiflora, our passiflora is if you are giving it in that crude form to produce this sort of sleep, what it will do? Okay, this is sometime antipathically acting. It will, you will need more and more material dose use sleep. Okay, so this is secondary counteraction. Aphorism number 59, aphorism number 65. These are the example of secondary counteraction happening in antipathic mode of treatment. Secondary curative action will be happening in homeopathic mode of treatment. Okay, just try to understand this. There is a condition in vital force. I'm trying to elaborate it with example. What is secondary counteraction? What is secondary curative action? Okay, that has been discussed in aphorism number 63, 64, and examples have been of examples of secondary counteraction is given in 65. So I'm trying to elaborate with example 60, that secondary counteraction and secondary curative action. What is secondary counteraction and what is secondary curative action? Okay, suppose there was a state of uh, disease in the vital force, that is constipation. Okay, you medicine which is producing constipation. Okay, that is similia similibus. You try to match the symptoms, you gave the medicine which is producing constipation. Okay, now in the secondary action, that was the primary action. The primary action of the medicine was to produce this constipation. Okay, now vital force arouses itself. Constipation, the artificial medicine produced constipation, vital force arouses itself and saw that, oh, this is the constipation. Okay, no need to worry about it, I was suffering from this only. Okay, now the vital force will detach itself, and this constipation what we have produced by our medicine is artificial constipation, because it has take over the natural constipation due to stronger in it was stronger in action. Vital force will not do anything in this case, because if it was a state vital force was suffering. But in the secondary counteraction, the medicine produces diarrhea. Okay, vital force arouses itself and saw that I was suffering from constipation and this medicine is producing diarrhea. This will more produce more constipation. That is secondary counteraction. Okay, this is the difference between, I just tried in a storytelling way to make you understand what is secondary counteraction and what is secondary curative action. Okay, now just read aphorism number 63. Just read aphorism number 63. Am I audible? Just read
Yes, sir.
aphorism number
You are
63. Okay.
every
Okay.
agent that acts upon the vitality, every medicine deranges more or less the vital force and causes a certain alteration in the health of the individual for a longer or shorter period. This is termed primary action. Although a product of the medicinal and vital power conjointly, it is principally due to the former power.
Stop
To
here.
its
Okay. Stop here. This the primary action. The medicine which is acting on vitality is producing something. Okay, either it will produce diarrhea or it will produce constipation. That is the basic inheritance property of the medicine, which is not going to change. Okay, you are giving medicine which is by its inheritance tendency has action on the vitality. Okay, this is the product of both vital force and medicine, but mainly due to the medicine. Okay, the guiding force is here the medicine only. The medicine will decide with what kind of what is it is going to produce. This is called primary action. Now go to next para. Next sentence.
To its action, our vital force endeavor to oppose its own energy. This resistant
Okay,
action is
what
a
I have
property.
told, what I have told, the vital force to its vital force have to react. It will to produce something. Okay, it have to react. Okay, because it is maintaining the vitality, maintaining the harmony. It have to react. Next.
This resistant action is a property, is indeed an automatic action of our life-preserving power, which goes by the name of secondary action or counteraction.
Okay, underline this. This is the property, property of the vital force. Vital force have to do something. Okay, to maintain the harmony, have to do. Now, which goes by the name secondary action or counter action. Now you can just it is you can say the translators some means what you say, it is the translation which is making a confusion here. You can take secondary action as to take secondary action, secondary counter action, secondary curative action. Okay, this secondary action is of two type: secondary counter action, secondary curative action. Okay, secondary counter action and secondary curative action. This only counter action is given. You can put an arrow there and write curative action. Aphorism number 64.
During the primary action of the artificial morphic agents, medicines, on our healthy body, as seen in the following examples, our vital force seems to conduct itself merely in a passive, receptive manner and appear, so to say, compelled to permit the impression of the artificial power acting from without to take place in it and thereby alter its state of health. It then, however, appears to rouse itself again, as it were, and to develop the exact opposite
Here,
condition of health.
stop here. I want you to stop. Go to the first line. See, artificial morphic agent. What it is called? It is called medicine. So instead of Hahnemann could have used medicine only. So this is the language of which is making it difficult. Okay, sometimes the thing which can be called, I want you to notice this. I want you to be familiar with the language and pattern of organon of medicine. Okay, that is why I keep pointing out these things. This is the three words Hahnemann could have used instead one word. This is a pattern of organon where one sentence could have been sufficed, Hahnemann using 10 to 15 sentences. Okay, where a simple sentence could have been sufficed, Hahnemann using a complex sentence. So this is the thing which is making organon of medicine a bit difficult for us. Okay, that is the thing I wanted. Now, just go on our healthy body, as seen from the example, what vital force is doing this? What is the action? We have told that this primary action is the result of the vital force and the medicine. Now, just notice that what is the act here? It is only act doing
Sir, your voice
action.
taking. Hello. Sir,
Voice
your
is
voice
cracking.
is.
My voice is
Yes, sir. There is
sorry.
network issue actually.
Is it okay now?
No, sir. Sir, again there is problem.
What kind of problem? Anirban, can you listen me? Can you hear me? Rashmi?
Yes, sir. I can hear you,
Breaking.
but
Your voice is breaking. You are not
Can you
clear,
hear?
sir.
Am I audible now?
yes, sir. You are audible now.
Okay. Am I clear now? My voice is
Yes,
clear?
yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
Okay. So I think it was the problem with the sound system. So I have put on this. Now, so we were actually this is a bit uncomfortable for me. So what the vital force is doing in the primary action, it is just taking the impression of the medicine. Okay, it is not reacting, just taking the impression and letting the medicine. As the vital force is the governing power here, it will arouse itself and will do two things. Either read the number A.
The exact opposite condition of health, counteraction, secondary action. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Sir, I think you have a network issue.
Okay. Uh, is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, action first. Now read this A.
The exact opposite condition of health, counteraction, secondary action. To this effect, primary action produced upon it, if there be such an opposite, and that in as great a degree as was the effect, primary action of the artificial morphic or medicinal agent on it, and proportionate to its own energy, or B.
How this vital force has been affected, react to that. You will go to Stuart Close, and that the third Newton's third action, third law is applicable here only. Okay, Newton's third law, we say now that Newton's third law is applicable in homeopathy? Where it is applicable? Only here. Action to the reaction to the action. Third law is applicable only here. Okay. Now,
If there be not in nature a state exactly the opposite of the primary action, it appears to endeavor to indifferentiate itself. Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir? Hello. Sir, there is a network problem, so your voice is not audible.
I am not talking anything. I'm not telling. I'm just listening to you.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If there is not in nature a state exactly the opposite of the primary action, it appears to endeavor to indifferentiate itself, that is, to make its superior power available in the extinction of the change wrought in it from without by the action, in the place of which it substitutes its normal state, secondary action, curative action.
Okay, this is secondary curative action which is happening in the homeopathy. Okay, in the antipathy the vital force was producing the exact opposite, but here it saw that the vital force saw that there is same condition which I was suffering from, so no need to react, so it indifferentiate itself and the pave the way for the artificial disease we have produced by the medicine to extinguish by itself. This was in short the primary action and the secondary action. We'll discuss detail when we will reach here. Here in the example 65, for some examples to this secondary counteraction has been given. You read it by yourself. And in aphorism number 59, you read it by yourself. This is what is happening in antipathy. Okay, what we have came here from the aphorism number 7 footnote. Okay, now when this antipathy is allowed in homeopathy, okay, when this is allowed in homeopathy, it is written in aphorism number 67 footnote, first para. Okay, when this is allowed in homeopathy, this antipathy, use of antipathy. Now go to aphorism number 67 footnote.
Only in the most urgent cases where danger to life and imminent death allow no time for the action of a homeopathic remedy. Not hours, sometimes not even quarter hours, and scarcely minutes. In sudden accident
So
occurring,
allows no time for the action of homeopathic remedy. This indicates that homeopathic remedy needs some time to start its action. When there is no possibility of that, you took the help of this antipathic measures. Okay, it is not that I have an exam tomorrow, so I am a headache now and I have to take painkiller. That is not the urgency. Okay, that is the not the thing Hahnemann is talking about here. Hahnemann is talking about the vitality. Hahnemann is talking about there is no time for the vitality to react. It is going down and down, sinking down and down. Okay, now in Hahnemann is giving examples. He's giving examples.
for example, in asphyxia and suspended animation from lightning, from suffocation, freezing, drowning, etc. Is it admissible and judicious at all events as a freezing, drowning, sorry, oh, at all events as a preliminary measure to stimulate the irritability and sensibility, the physical life with a palliative, as for instance, with gentle electrical shocks, with cluster of strong coffee, with a stimulating odor, gradual application of heat, etc. When this stimulation is effected, the play of the vital organ again goes on in its former healthy manner, for there is here no disease.
Underline this here, no disease. And there is a sub footnote to this where Hahnemann is discussing about the new system mongers, the homeopathy and allopathy, partly using homeopathy, partly using allopathy. The people like us who are using paracetamol for the fever, asking their patient, if there is more fever, take paracetamol. Okay, that is a galagali for us. Okay, leave that. We means people who are doing mixopathy, some allopathy, some homeopathy. Okay, of course we are not doing this, but just giving examples that Hahnemann is telling in this sub footnote. Okay, only judicious application of antipathy is allowed in these conditions where there is no time. Okay, now go on.
Sub footnote so
No, just footnote. Read the footnote. What has been there in sub footnote I have discussed.
for there is here no disease to be removed, but merely an obstruction and suppression of the healthy vital force. To which category belong various antidotes to sudden poisoning, alkalis for mineral acids, hypersulfuris for metallic poisons, coffee and camphor, and ipecacuanha for poisoning by opium itself.
So
It does
these are the MCQs in your entrance examination. Okay, these are the MCQs in various examination. What are the antidote for this and that? Okay, so here is the use of antipathy. Hahnemann is telling when you can use antipathy when there is no time and vitality is sinking down. You can help. Why only antipathy? You can help. Take help of anything which is arousing, because your medicine will not work on a dead body. Okay, you have to make the patient survive, so you have to use all these measures available. Okay, now this second part of this footnote is dealing with the accidental symptoms. That is a side topic, not in our discussion now, but we will discuss it here. We will discuss it too. So the antipathic discussion have finished here. Now go to the second paragraph. Second paragraph is dealing with the accidental symptoms. Okay, second paragraph is dealing with the accidental symptoms. Just write in the margin. This is not our topic, but as it comes we will finish it. Go on reading second paragraph.
It does not follow that a homeopathic medicine has been ill-selected for cases of disease because some of the medicinal symptoms are only antipathic to some of the less important and minor symptoms of the disease. If only the others, the stronger, well-marked characteristic
Underline
and
this: antipathic to some of the less important and minor symptoms of disease. Okay, you are giving a medicine. You have taken a case. Just understand this. You have taken a case and giving a medicine. The medicine you are giving for the case have some symptoms which is exactly opposite to the symptom of the disease. Okay, you are giving brainia. Okay, for just leave the example of brainia because it has alternating action too, that is opposite to each other. Leave that. You are giving say nux vomica for the headache. Okay, and that person was having diarrhea. Okay, or some symptoms which was exactly opposite to your nux vomica, to the symptoms of nux vomica. But on examination you saw that the what exactly opposite symptoms of the patient were having was of less minor character. Okay, but the major symptoms were similar to the nux vomica, but those minor symptoms were of exactly opposite to nux vomica. That doesn't mean that you are giving antipathic medicine. Okay, that doesn't mean you are giving antipathic medicine, because there are some symptoms in the medicine and in the disease which is exactly opposite to each other. Why? Because those symptoms which are exactly opposite to each other are of minor character only. Okay, that is why Underline this: antipathic to some of the less important minor symptoms of the disease. Okay, underline this. Now go on.
If only the others, the stronger bell mark characteristic and peculiar symptoms of the disease are covered and matched by the same medicine with similarity of symptom, that is to say, overpowered, destroyed, and extinguished, the few opposite symptoms also disappear of themselves. After the expiry of the terms of action of the medicaments without retarding the cure in the least.
Okay, if your medicine is matching to the peculiar characteristics things, don't worry about those symptoms which are exactly opposite to your medicine. Okay, you are not doing antipathy here. Okay, okay, this is the uh, uh, paragraph dealing with the accidental symptoms. These are accidental symptoms, right in the margin. Okay, now what is alternating action? What is alternating action?
These are the type of primary action.
Well, okay, what type of primary action?
One paroxysm alternate with each other, like in case of
Okay,
allo.
exact opposite. Okay, relation between those are exactly opposite. Go to 115. 115. Last two line: alternating state of various paroxysm of the primary action. And first two lines: symptoms which are partially or under certain condition directly opposite to other symptom. Okay, underline: symptoms which are partially or under certain conditions directly opposite to other symptoms. Okay, directly opposite to other symptom. Underline that, and then underline: alternating a state of various paroxysm of the primary action, terms alternating action. Okay, what is alternating symptom then? What is alternating symptom?
So symptoms alternate कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे से.
Okay,
No,
and what is the difference between alternating action and alternating symptom?
hello, sir.
Yes.
The alternative action is exactly opposite, and alternative symptoms are not exactly opposite, like headache and diarrhea.
Okay, that is a difference. Alternating action is exactly opposite. Number one. Number two, you missed that this will be again coming back. Okay, again coming back. Like it can be, you can say that diarrhea and constipation. Okay, but if it is, now you have to differentiate with the secondary action also. Diarrhea and constipation, diarrhea and constipation alternating with each other. Again diarrhea is coming, again constipation is coming, again diarrhea is coming, again constipation is coming. What is this? This is alternating action. Okay, if the diarrhea was replaced by constipation, this was due to secondary action. Okay, and in alternating symptoms there may be exact opposite relation was present, maybe, or maybe no relation between those symptoms are there. That headache and diarrhea, headache and lumbago. Okay, lumbago alternate with diarrhea. What is the medicine? With headache. What is the medicine? Lumbago alternate with headache. What is the medicine?
Allos.
Aloes.
Allos
Very good. This is allosacotina. This is the alternating symptom. Okay, diarrhea and constipation may be alternating symptom also. Okay, these are, but this may not necessarily carries alternating symptoms, may not necessarily carries a exact opposite reaction, but to be it an alternating action, it should contain exact opposite reaction. Okay, exact opposite relation, that is alternating action, and should alternate with each other. Okay, and if it was due to secondary action, that diarrhea and constipation, again opposite relation. But if it was due to secondary action, that should not paroxysm, that should not be in paroxysm. Okay, like paroxysm of the primary action. Okay, clear? So alternating action, alternating symptoms, and secondary symptom, secondary action. Now, what is the importance of this knowing alternating action? What is the importance of knowing alternating action?
In cases of repetition of medicine,
What? What you should
or
do?
in case of alternating symptom, we can repeat the same medicine in the same potency.
Very good. Aphorism number?
For 251,
Very good. Aphorism number 251. Go to aphorism number 251. See, there are some medicine. Read it.
there are some medicines, Ignatia, also Briannia and Rus, and sometimes Belladonna, whose power of altering man's health consists chiefly in alternating action, a kind of primary action, symptoms that are in part opposite to each other. Should the practitioner find on prescribing one of these selected on strict homeopathic principle that no improvement follows, he will in most cases soon effect his object by giving in acute diseases, even within a few hours, a fresh and equally small dose of the same medicine.
Okay, that is the importance of knowing, that is the importance of knowing the alternating action. This I have also observed in cases of ignitia. Okay, ignitia 1m, one dose is not working, and the moment you repeat the 1m, same potency, same dose, and the action started. Animan is giving the footnote here. It has been detailed in introduction to ignitia, and this is ignitia is a medicine which have given me most of the in most of the cases have given me success by knowing only, because I know that I knew beforehand that this is having an alternating action. Okay, so I have to give it in pair. Even before even before I was using one dose in many cases. Now I am using LM potency and 5th edition. That 4th edition Organon was dealing with a single dose, wait and watch. 5th edition gave some relaxation with the repetition in fractional doses. Okay, now I usually use fractional doses of the 5th edition and LM potency, where I can repeat the medicine. So even when I was using wait and watch policy, that one medicine single dose and wait, in that period of my clinical practice, I was giving these medicines in paired. Okay, Initia 1m, 2 doses, not single dose. I used to give CPA single dose, sulfur single dose, but whenever I am giving these alternating medicine, I used to give in paired doses. Okay, this was the this knowledge have helped me with this sort of prescription. So this is the importance of knowing alternating action. So from where we have went to where, from aphorism number 7 we have went on to discuss all this. We will discuss these in detail, a bit detail later on also. Okay, Kent is saying that there is much discussion with the, I think in the dozens, as secondary action and primary action have been discussed in detail. Those who are doing their MDs in Organon, they should go through that dozens lecture. Okay, primary action and secondary action, that is a bit confusion but of academic interest. Okay, dozen is what dozen is telling. Kent have said at one place that there is no need of confusing between primary action and secondary action. Whatever action you are getting, you prescribe your medicine and you will get result. In cases of, I think, oversensitive patients or in some other chapter, Kent is saying that there is no need to be confused in primary action and secondary action. Okay, whatever action you are getting, you will be affecting the cure. In the Allen's keynote, the famous Herring's quotation in the camphor you will get, camphor, in the camphor, Allen's keynote. Open Allen's keynote and you will see this primary action and secondary action. Regarding last line, note for thought. Note for thought. All our progress as a school depends on the right view of symptoms obtained by the proving of camphor and opium. These camphor and opium are what? These are narcotics. And for narcotics, what we are taking? For narcotics, which symptoms we are taking?
Secondary symptoms.
Secondary symptoms.
These secondary actions, we are taking those secondary action, because in the primary action of these are causing benumbed state. Okay, in aphorism number 113 and 114, narcotics. Go to aphorism number 113 and 114. Here you will find that except in narcotic, we are noting down the primary action. Okay, but in narcotics, those which are producing a state of benumbed state, we are getting only secondary action in the proving, and so we are prescribing on the secondary action of these. So Kent is justified in telling that no need of confusing yourself with the primary action and the secondary action. Whatever action vital force is producing, you will be helped with the medicine. Okay, so we will discuss it a bit in detail when we'll come to discuss that. Okay, a bit in detail. We have discussed almost all what we have to discuss. A bit discussion is needed regarding this noting the primary action, or in the proving, how the primary action and the secondary action is helping us in the proving. That discussion will be when we will reach to aphorism number 63 and 64. Most of those discussion which would have been there, we have discussed it here only. Okay, so aphorism number 7, footnote. Okay, now read it.
First footnote. From the first.
That first footnote we have dealt. The second footnote, it was the discussion yesterday. Second footnote.
In all times, the old school physicians, not knowing how else to give relief, have sought to combat and, if possible, to suppress by medicines here and there a single symptom from among a number in disease. A one-sided procedure which, under the name of symptomatic treatment, had justly excited universal contempt, because by it not only was nothing gained, but much harm was inflicted. A single one of the symptoms present is no more than the disease itself, then a single foot is the man himself. This procedure was so much the more reprehensible that such a single symptom was only treated by an antagonistic remedy. Therefore, only in an antiopathic and palliative manner, whereby, after a slight alleviation, it was subsequently only rendered all the worse.
This is the thing in the daily practice. You will note that the best example we can give in the cases of migraine, you just notice the prescription, see the prescription, the power gradually goes on increasing of the painkiller. Okay, previously he was taking something and now he is taking more, that more painkiller is needed. Okay, so this is the thing. But even in this antipathic treatment, again and again we have discussed that this is giving a short relief in chronic cases, but in and goes on increasing. Okay, but in acute cases, we have discussed in introduction there, where Hahnemann is telling that in some acute cases this may be seems helpful, that because the acute is exhausting itself. Okay, so it is not as dangerous as it is in chronic cases. In those acute cases, individual acute cases, due to acute miasms, or that if you are suppressing some symptoms, painful headache of that disease, if you are suppressing, it is not as bad as if you are suppressing a symptom in chronic diseases, because it is not going. Chronic disease nature is that it will go on increasing and increasing and increasing. For acute disease, the nature is it will go exhaust itself. So in acute disease, these antipathic treatment are not that dangerous, but in chronic diseases it is dangerous. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
In introduction we have read it somewhere, I'm not getting that paragraph to some extent, that acute diseases, in contrary, I think it is paragraph number 53. Okay, you will get it in paragraph number 53 regarding that. Okay, now come to aphorism number 7, footnote. These are the different name of antipathy Hahnemann have discussed. Enantiopathy, palliative, symptomatic treatment. This symptomatic treatment you will still hear with our allopathic brothers. They will tell you that this is the case of symptomatic treatment, give symptomatic relief to the patient. Okay, so this symptomatic treatment is still being used. We have dealt with aphorism number 8. Now from 9 to 16 is dealing with the vital force. Okay, from 9 to
Sir,
16 aphorism. Okay,
hello.
do,
So
yes.
what he is saying here, a single one of the symptoms present is no more than the disease itself. Then a single foot is the man himself. What is the meaning or what he want to say here?
Here you want to say that if you are seeing a single symptom in disease, if you are seeing a single symptom, तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते ना कि एक आदमी का एक पैर लेके बोलेंगे यही सुनील है. सुनील को जानने के लिए उसका चेहरा जानना होगा, उसका पूरा बॉडी जानना होगा, हाथ पांव देखना होगा, चेहरे का कलर देखना होगा, सर का बाल का कलर देखना होगा, पूरा टेक्सचर देखना होगा. सिर्फ हम अगर पैर देखेंगे तो बहुत लोगों का पैर एक जैसा है, तो हम सिर्फ पैर देख के तो नहीं बोल सकते ये सुनील है. सुनील को देखने के लिए हमको एज अ होल देखना पड़ेगा. वी हैव टू सी हिम एज अ होल. सो इन डिजीज सिर्फ हम पांव को लेकर ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं, एक सिम्टम को लेकर ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं. दैट इज मीनिंग बाय वी आर सीइंग अ सिंगल फुट इन अ होल मैन एंड टेलिंग दैट दिस इज सो एंड सो पर्सन.
Yes,
ओके,
yes,
क्लियर?
yes,
So
sir,
anyone
clear.
having any question? Anyone having any question? So 9 to 16 we will discuss tomorrow. The vital force. We have already told that this vital force is coming in the Cothen period of the Hahnemann, the metaphysical development of Hahnemann. You need not to believe on the vital force and still you can practice homeopathy according to Richard Hughes. You need not to believe on chronic diseases, still you can practice homeopathy according to Richard Hughes. Because Richard Hughes was on opinion that when Hahnemann was in Cothen period, he was doing this sort of thing which is away from the science, which cannot be proved with science. Have your faith on vital force, but it is not needed for your prescription. But the vital force, understanding of the vital force, we have discussed before that it is helpful to know the state of the person. Okay, so it is as integral part of homeopathic philosophy as this is our version, not Richard Hughes' version. Okay, Dr. Richard Hughes is telling that vital force is not the integral part of homeopathic philosophy, but our version is that this vital force is as integral to the philosophy of homeopathy as the similia similibus curanter is. The chronic disease is as integral to the philosophy of homeopathy as the similia similibus curanter is. Richard Hughes is only accepting similia, single dose and minimum dose. Okay, even sometimes he is not accepting the minimum dose also, just accepting the fulcrum of similia similibus curanter. Okay, but our version is that the whole thing what have Hahnemann written till his last breath are of utter importance for us in order to practice homeopathy in a scientific and correct manner. Okay, so we will discuss this vital force in our next class tomorrow. Anyone having any question can ask, so that we can respond to it in 5-minute time.
Sir,
Okay, Anirban,
sir,
bolo.
ওই আমার ডাউটটা লাস্ট ক্লাসে
ও লাস্ট ক্লাসের ডাউটটা তোমার, তুমি বলেছিলে যে you have told that what we will, acha, can you repeat the question for all so that everyone can understand?
Actually, my question was that management told us that in remarking the symptoms that is given by the patient, if we remark it, then in some cases it is seen that patient exaggerate their symptoms. So in that cases, what we will do?
In some cases, so it is hypochondriac patient. You have to use your judgment. We have told that there are three sources of symptoms, and I have told that you have to give maximum credence to the patient's version of symptom. Aphorism number 98, maximum credence is given to the patient's version. Okay, but in cases where the patient is exaggerating his symptoms, it is the physician's judgment. We will depend on the judgment of the physician. Okay, now I have told you this, that you hypochondriac patient 96. Okay, in that case the physician's own judgment will decide the intensity of the symptom. Okay, you have to judge by yourself. That is the physician's observation, aphorism number 90 and aphorism number 96, hypochondriac patient. Now you asked that what about in insane persons who are insane? In those cases, physician's judgment and aphorism number 218. Open aphorism number 218 and you will get that in those cases you have to rely on the patient's friends and relatives version. Okay, not only in the cases of insanity but in the cases of convulsion, unconsciousness, where the patient cannot tell what has happened to him but those around him can tell. Okay, so in that case we are taking patient's friend's judgment. Aphorism number 298 218. To your first question we refer to aphorism number 96. To your second question we are referring to aphorism number 218, where the physician where the patient's friends version are taking into consideration, because patient was unconscious, patient was insane, patient was under convulsion. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
So these are the exception, and these exceptions are not going to form the rule. Okay, exceptions don't make a rule. Rule is that you have to give maximum credence to the patient's version of the symptom. Okay, as according to aphorism number 98, because in the patient's friend mouth it is almost altered, erroneously described, but what the patient is telling is the accurate picture of what he is feeling. Sometimes you have to take your own judgment into account, that is in hypochondriac patients, and sometimes you are taking the patient's friend's version, that is in the insanity, in unconsciousness, in convulsion. Clear? Okay, thank you for your patience hearing and giving me your attention for 1 hour. I'm very
Thank
thankful
you.
to you.